What are your highest conviction bets right now?
So a highest conviction bet is to be hyper concentrated. And so what I do is assume that Bitcoin is the benchmark asset in crypto, compare everything to that. If it's not going to beat it, you can't own it.
Welcome to a new video here on Wealth Wizards. We're here to keep you updated with the latest from the cryptocurrency markets and the investment world at large. In today's video, Raoul Pal will share his latest insights and thoughts on the market and the global macroeconomic landscape. But that's not all. He'll also cover some key trends, narratives, and specific assets he's closely following right now to capture the best returns in this upcoming liquidity expansion cycle. Stay tuned until the end, as he'll be providing crucial information to help you navigate the market and make the most out of the months ahead. But before we begin, please remember to subscribe to our channel to stay up to date with more videos like this one. Thank you, and with that, let's dive right into today's video.
There's no point having diversification in a trend like this. What you want is to really be concentrated in the things that matter. Now, most people then therefore try and buy lots of small stuff hoping they're going to catch the 100x. What I try and do is say, I just want to get the crypto that is on the adoption curve and going up. And so that was my switch from Bitcoin to ETH back in 2020, in September 2020, worked really well. I just looked at the ETH Bitcoin cross. Then I started looking at the Solana ETH cross when that was bottoming in 2022. As soon as it started breaking out in 2023, I went all in on Solana. And then recently, I've been following the Sui cross and a bunch of others. I'm saying somebody's going to be the next chosen one. And Sui was the one that broke out first. It could have been any of them, and others will outperform whatever, but of a major blockchain. So I've been hyper concentrated. So right now I'm really Solana mainly, Sui, and then I've got some meme stuff for the fun of it, smoking chicken fish and Doge, because listen, in this bizarro world of Elon basically running the US government, the chances of Doge being used as a currency are extremely high. So even if that doesn't happen, the market will trade that narrative. So that's in the crypto side. In the technology side, I've had a basket called the Exponential Age basket of a bunch of names that this is all about, whether it's semiconductors or whether it's Tesla or whether it's Meta. But I'm starting to think it's all going to come down to two stocks for a while now. I think it's going to be Tesla, and I think it's going to be Coinbase. Again, if this Trump victory happens, then those two companies benefit the most of any companies on earth. And so I think there is a hyper concentrated bet that may come. I haven't made that decision yet, but so technology stocks, but really with my own personal portfolio, it's all crypto. The other thing that I have done, which I think is going to be interesting for your audience, is trying to think through what is scarcity in this abundant world of AI. What is economic value? What is all of this? And I just came down to the conclusion, if we're going to generate $98 trillion of wealth in 10 years, that's a shit ton of money. That's twice the value the S&P has accrued in the last 100 years. So that money's going to get recycled into assets. People are going to buy houses and people are going to buy art. Here we are at this moment in time that really started in 2020, where culture exploded in a Web3 world in a way that couldn't exist before, and that was the NFTs. And culturally relevant things from that moment in time are going to have huge relevance to people who've made $100 trillion. That's going to be the glory days, where it all started. This is the Genesis story, the lore that it all comes from. And so I just started buying Beeple and Xcopy. I'll probably broaden into other stuff, but those were the most relevant artists for me. And the reason being is I want something that's going to maintain value over time into this new world, when I don't know what other things, how other things are going to be valued, or whether crypto gets to full adoption and then what happens. But the scarce assets will still become fought over by people with money. So that's the long-term play on how to do this. Meanwhile, on the lifestyle side, You need to get your lifestyle sorted out in the next 6 years. And hopefully this economic opportunity that's been given to us out of crypto is going to give us the opportunities to make those decisions. What kind of house I want to live in, where that kind of flexibility that we have in the modern world, I think is the other most important thing, because it's a whole trade for everything. It's life, money, wealth, health. The worst thing is to lose everything. You've gone through the cycles, you know the pain, and that's fine. The cycles we can deal with. A complete change of the economic system, we can't. Simply can't. Just protect yourself from that.
Underrated or overrated? So Nvidia will be the first $10 trillion company.
Overrated.
Do you think Tesla gets there first?
Yeah.
Mag 7 stocks outperforming the S&P 500 over the next 5 years.
Underrated, it's clear.
Underrated or overrated? The distribution of today's big tech incumbents will actually widen their moats in a world of ubiquitous AI.
Underrated. I think they capture an enormous part of this because they are the internet as we know it today.
We'll never go through another major recession.
Underrated. I don't think we will, because we debase the currency away that stops us having a debt crisis, whether it's a public sector or private sector. And so we don't get the mass liquidity events that happen, liquidation events. And I think with the tilting of the economic scales in the way that's happening, the probability of a recession, just simple. I know this sounds la-la land until I explain to you, Australia's not had a recession for 27 years. Why? It sells things people want, commodities, and its immigration rate's 3%. So if we have an immigration rate from AI and robots, essentially population growth, the probability of having a recession is low. It doesn't mean we don't have business cycles. It doesn't mean some sectors can't go through recessions. But the overall economic recession, we didn't have one this time around, and we should have done. I'd argue we wouldn't have had one in 2020 either. I thought there was going to be one, but by 2019 the economic indicators were all recovering, and then we had COVID. So therefore, if that were the case, if 2020 wouldn't have happened, we didn't have one now, then we've not had a recession since 2008.
Raoul Pal is clear. As we approach a significant monetary expansion event, it's prudent to focus our investments on assets poised to benefit the most. In Pal's view, cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Sui, Dogecoin, and Solana, along with other technology-based investments, are prime candidates. This sector is highly sensitive to liquidity and tends to experience substantial gains during bullish market phases. What are your thoughts? Which assets are you betting on for this bull market? Let us know in the comments below. Now, to conclude, we have some noteworthy news. As of today, Bitcoin mining has been declared legal in Russia. While this development is positive, it comes with certain caveats. The new legislation, effective November 1st, 2024, legalizes cryptocurrency mining, but allows the government to prohibit mining in specific regions and requires miners to register with authorities. Additionally, the law imposes restrictions on holding and selling mined cryptocurrencies, potentially impacting the profitability of mining operations. In other news, Bitcoin's price has been flirting with the $70,000 mark as the U.S. presidential election approaches. Analysts suggest that the cryptocurrency's price stability is influenced by the election's outcome, with expectations that a victory for certain candidates could lead to favorable conditions for Bitcoin. Furthermore, J.P. Morgan analysts have indicated that both Bitcoin and gold could benefit if Donald Trump wins the election. They attribute this potential rise to the debasement trade, where investors seek assets like Bitcoin and gold as hedges against currency devaluation and economic uncertainty. And that's all for today. Thank you for watching. And if you found this information valuable, please subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. We are Wealth Wizards, and we wish you an excellent day. Goodbye.